Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Jen with Home Eunice Plans and I am back with another memory spread. For this plan with me, I will be planning out the week of January 16th through January 22nd, and I'm utilizing this kit from Planning Like a Pro called Velvet. It is a non-foiled kit, which pushed me a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I did pair it with gold foil and I am really happy with how it turned out. Also, side note, in the comments below, Shani from Planning Like a Pro, is she still around? Is she doing well? I haven't, I don't think we've heard from her. I know she was in school to be a nurse, and I know that's very, very challenging. But yeah, I hope she's doing well. So if anyone has any information, leave it in the comments below, because I've kind of been hoarding my Planning Like a Pro kits because I haven't seen Shani post anything about her shop. But it finally came time for me to use this gorgeous kit, and I'm so glad that I did, because it pushed me out of my comfort zone for sure, because I'm so used to using foiled kits that whenever I was looking through my section of, kits that isn't foiled, I was like, oh, well, I can't use these. Like, in my head, I was like, it's unusable, until I finally was like, Jen, it's fine. Like, you can add foil. And I love it. I love how it ended up turning out. I feel like I still got a really great Viv wiggle, because I did, my foil collection's big enough to where I added foil to where it doesn't even look like it's a non-foiled kit. I did add foil dividers to the bottom washi to make it look like the bottom washi was foiled. Obviously, I did DIY date covers. I did this in the last Plan With Me, where I used the Panda Bird Design confetti half scallops to make my own date covers. Again, kind of reminiscent of the Gathered Layers collections. Obviously, I'm going to have to go on to Panda Bird Design and order some of the Gathered Layers collection of date strips and date covers, because I really like the vibe that it gives in my spreads. I don't know, I feel like I can still be creative and layer with it, and also, I don't know, it kind of takes some of the guesswork out of doing the date cover deco. So I had a lot of fun with that. Once again, I used some alcohol ink swatches from Rose Colored Days. Pulled in, okay, so another thing, this kit, it's an older kit, obviously, and it didn't come with a whole lot of florals, except just like a sheet on the base kit with some mini deco pieces. So I did pull in some florals from my collection, and also that quote that's on the box in the sidebar, that's actually from my Happy Planner book. I like the quote, and I generally like to have a quote box up in my at the top of my sidebar. But anyways, other than that, I did pull in a bunch of snowflakes from Sadie Stickers, Honey Inked, and yeah, I really like how the base of the spread turned out. So, okay, starting off on Monday, I marked that I was up early on this day, so I pulled in a mini laced box from Bloom Paper Studio. The alarm clock icon is from Crafts by Towie. Layered it with some florals so I had a couple different floral sheets that had similar florals. I had a floral sheet from the Sweet Planner, and then a floral sheet from Florina Papery, and the little floral piece that I used on that was from the Sweet Planner. Jumping down, I marked that I went to the gym with one of my best friends, so I marked that with a quarter box, layered it with some florals, and then the gym bag icon is from White Deer Stationery. I marked that I uploaded a Plan With Me on this day, so I pulled in actually the little YouTube icon that came with the kit, pulled in a mini layered garland from Sadie Stickers, and a bunch of deco pieces. I marked that I had a personal training session on this day, so I marked that with a swatch box from Paper Trail Plans, pulled in an OG, well, it's actually not an OG, but like Sweet Bella XOXO came out with like variations of different fancy boxes, and this was like a different shaped fancy box from Sweet Bella XOXO, and I have abundance of these, and I'm really trying to embrace the whole, I have the stickers, so I'm going to use the stickers. So pulled in one of the fancy box variations from Sweet Bella XOXO, a bunch of foil deco pieces, and then to cap off the night, I watched TV with my hubby. I've stated that before, but that's just how he and I hang out with each other at the end of the night. Like, At the end of a work day, we'll come home, we'll unwind, I'll cook dinner, and we'll watch TV together. So that's just what we do in our household. So to mark that, I pulled in, it's like a midi, it's almost a midi half box. It came with the kit. 2 boxes of that size came with the kit. But anyways, okay, jumping over to Tuesday, I marked that I think I slept in. I have the page moved down, so I don't know what that says, but I marked it the exact same way as I marked getting up early the day before, and I pulled in those dividers from Crafts by Towie. I'm obviously trying to utilize my collection and older style stickers that I don't want to say that I haven't touched, but that I haven't pulled into spreads in quite some time, and I'm really enjoying that. I marked that I had a good conversation with 2 of my really great friends, marked that with some florals from the kit, and the icon is from Crafts by Towie. And then I marked that I had my Zoom class, so I pulled in the little icon from White Deer Stationery to mark that. Jumping down, I marked that we had Subway for dinner. On days when we're like busy and doing some running around, we'll generally, sometimes I just don't feel like cooking, y'all, and it was a Subway kind of a night. So I pulled in a mini box from Sadie's Stickers, another one of the layered mini garlands. The icon is from Crafts by Towie. I marked that me and my hubby watched a show on Netflix called Castlevania. So if any of y'all are like anime people out there, so there was a video game back whenever I think it came out back in like the 80s for the NES, and it was kind of like a platformer game, but it was called Castlevania, and it was about a vampire hunter going and trying to hunt down Dracula, and it was like a series of video games that came out. Well, anyways, long story short, so I don't start to sound like too much of a nerd, they came out with a series on Netflix, kind of culminating a bunch of the games together, and it's like seriously one of my favorite shows. And my husband and I watched it through once, and we started watching it through again, which just makes my heart really happy. Okay, so after that, I marked that we went to bed really, really late, which I don't know why. Like, I get terrible insomnia. Like, I could be exhausted all day, going about life, hunky-dory, and then it's time to go to bed, and boom, I will lay there and I cannot sleep. And that happens to me more often than I would like for it to, and this was just one of those nights. I could not go to sleep. My insomnia was kicking my butt, and it was so annoying. So had to mark that. So I pulled in another one of the boxes from the kit, layered it with some florals, and then the icon is from Crafts by Towie. Okay, so I marked that on Wednesday I slept in, and that's because I slept terribly the night before because I didn't go to bed until late. I had another personal training session earlier in the day, so to mark that, I pulled in another quarter box from the kit, layered it with some florals, and then the icon is from Crafts by Towie. I marked planning in my planners, kind of the same way that I marked the PT session on Monday with the swatch box from Paper Trail Plans, and then the fancy box from Sweet Bella XOXO. Pulled a classic Lauren move here, and marked doing my nails. I wrote do yo nails. I don't know what it is. I think it's so funny. She told a story one time in one of her plan with me. She's like, I don't even know why I say this. It's not how I talk. So funny. Yeah, I went to my parents' house and then just kind of hung out with my hubby. Okay, so jumping over to Thursday. Okay, I did a lot of repetitive stuff. I'm not going to lie to you guys. January was a very repetitive and boring month. I feel like that's how it is for everybody in January. It's literally, we're getting our lives back together after the holidays. We're starting a whole new year, and we're just trying to get through. So I ended up doing a whole lot of the same stuff every single day. So I mark it pretty similarly in my planner. So I marked that I had another terrible night's sleep. This was like not a good week for me for sleep. Like, oh my goodness. But I marked that the exact same way. I pull in the small lace box from Bloom Paper Studio, layer it with some florals, and then the eyelash icon is from White Deer Stationery. I marked that I went to the gym with one of my best friends, marked that with a quarter box and some florals. So what I will say, since this kit did not come with like an added floral sheet, now I feel like I rely very heavily on florals, and I'm not mad about that. Like I love utilizing my florals, but I'm getting used to using like smaller bouquets and whatnot, and so whenever I had to get by with using the floral sheets from the Sweet Planner and Florina Paperie, those floral bundles generally tend to lean a little bit more larger. So I had to cut around some of the greenery and get a little pieces here and there. And I did a lot of like layering or lining the sides of the column with florals in the spread. And I don't know, I like the way that it turned out. I thought it was pretty. But anyways, I marked that I got ready by, again, lining the column with the florals from Florina Paperie. The icon is from White Deer Stationery. Okay, so my husband had a show on this night. I've talked about this before. My husband is in a band, and they are a gigging band, and they go out very frequently. They have, shows at different clubs. This was a club that they have been trying to play a show out for quite some time, and they had a show. They finally got booked on a show at this venue, and without going into too much detail, it was an interesting show. Like, normally, like the rock scene where we live is like, you're used to going into like, the venues, and it's a little bit, I don't want to say rougher of a place. But this venue, it was nice. It was a very nice venue, but like the event that they were playing was like a little head scratchy, and like we went home that night. We're like, okay, what the heck was that? Like, it wasn't like normally whenever they do a show and we leave and we're all excited about how it went. We're talking about the experience and everything. It was like we went home and we were like, what was that? Like, it was almost kind of like an uncomfortable feeling, just because, not because the venue was bad, but because the event itself was really like questionable. Like, I don't even know. It was something that we left feeling an uneasy feeling, and we're like, okay, we need to, if we're approached to do that event again, we need to really consider, because it was really not, it wasn't what we liked to do normally. Normally they go and they have great shows and it's really high energy, and this one was just like, I don't know, it was because of the event, and it was an ordeal. Anyways, so after that we went to grab some burgers, because it was late whenever we got back, so we just went through a drive-through, and then we just kind of crashed at the house. Okay, so on Friday, I marked sleeping in because we got home really, really late the night before, so marked that the same way as I've been marking like all of my sleep stuff throughout the whole week. Pulled in another one of those flourishes from Crest by Towie. And now I've moved the page up. Guys, first of all, I don't have my planner, so I'm not looking. I know I could get up and go and get my planner, but that's all the way in the other room, and I'm just being lazy today. That just is what it is, okay? So I could, but that takes effort, and I'm so comfortable. Anyways, so jumping down, I marked that I made some homemade chicken noodle soup on this night. I don't know what it was. I was feeling like some chicken noodle soup, so I made some, and it was so good. Like, Normally I'm not like that great at making soup, except for my homemade tomato soup. Like I can make some bomb homemade tomato soup, but tonight I made some homemade chicken noodle soup and I was so happy. It wasn't, well, okay, it wasn't like a chicken noodle soup. It was more like a chicken and vegetable soup. But even still, like the broth that I made, I was so happy. I was so proud of myself. So to mark that, I pulled in a swatch from Paper Trail Plans, another one of those fancy boxes from Sweet Bella XOXO. The icon is from White Deer Stationery. I marked that I had a YouTube binge with Shane, and so I pulled in some more florals from either the Sweet Planner or Florina Paperie, layered the YouTube icon from Crafts by Towie over that. I did pull in one of those like mini snow garlands from Honey Inked underneath the YouTube icon, and this is the only time I pulled it in throughout this spread. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but whatever, it is what it is. And then to cap off the night, on this night, I actually fell asleep early. Maybe it's because I had been sleeping bad so terribly this whole week that my body was finally like giving me a break, going, yes, my child, you may sleep. Go, get some rest. Because I finally fell asleep early. So, hallelujah. Okay, so jumping over to Friday, I am marking that... Oh, JK, I guess it didn't matter that I went to sleep early the night before. I had another bad night's sleep. What the heck was going on with me this week? Why did I have so many nights where I wasn't sleeping well? Like, obviously it was like of noteworthy to me that I had this many nights of bad sleep in a row because I wrote it down multiple times this week. Like, geez, reevaluate your sleep schedule, Jen. My goodness. So jumping down, I am marking that I just hung out at home because obviously if I had a terrible night's sleep, I didn't really want to wake up. So I pretty much just hung out at the house. That's kind of what happens if I have a bad night's sleep. I end up feeling really lethargic and like non-energized for the rest of the day. So obviously I kind of just hung out at the house. I marked that with a quarter box label from the kit, layered it with some florals. The little house icon is from Crafts by Towie. I pulled in some dot clusters from Sadie Stickers and also some snow deco pieces from Honey Inked and Sadie Stickers as well. I marked that, obviously it was a rough day because I marked that we had leftovers. Generally I like to cook. So I try to cook as often as possible, but obviously I was not feeling it this day, so I marked that we had some leftover chicken soup. So I marked that with a swatch box from Paper Trail Plans, pulled in one of those mini half flags that came with the kit, layered it in over top of the swatch box, pulled in some florals, and then the icon is from White Deer Stationery. Okay, I marked that I had a bath on this night, so I pulled in another MIDI colored box from Sadie Stickers. Pulled in some dot clusters from Sadie Stickers and a snow deco piece from Sadie Stickers as well. And then the bathtub icon is from Crafts by Towie. Oh, okay. So on this night, me and my husband watched the movie John Wick, and I forgot how much I love that movie. Like, I love Keanu Reeves. He did such a good job, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of the sequels, but the first one is just like, dang. Like, that's such a good, solid action movie, and Keanu Reeves really sells his performance so well. So me and my husband turned on John Wick, and we just kind of hung out and watched John Wick together. So to mark that, I pulled in some florals, and then the icon is from White Deer Stationery. And then I marked Insta Reels, and I don't know if that meant that I was editing Insta Reels or I was just watching Insta Reels. It could have been both. This was back, a couple weeks ago, so I don't remember. I'm going to say that it was both because I've been trying really hard to get better about posting Instagram Reels. I've started posting my journal with me's on my Instagram page, and I love that format. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Like, I kind of feel like I'm getting into the groove of figuring out how I like to do my journal with me's. At first I was doing journal with me's like talk through in voiceover mode on my YouTube channel, but there's such, there's end up being such short videos that I feel like doing the short form Instagram Reels makes it just a little bit easier. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys like the Instagram Reels? I really do. I feel like it gives a little bit more variety and content on my Instagram page. And I know Instagram is leaning really heavy into the Instagram Reels. And I know in order to like keep your page relevant, you have to do, at least one. So that's, I think, the vibe I'm trying to stick with. So let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about Instagram Reels in general. So, okay, jumping down, I marked that we went over to Shane's grandmother's house on Sunday. We try to go over there every Sunday afternoon to have lunch with her. Then I marked that we had a game night over at one of our good friends' houses. I marked that the same way as I've been marking other events with the swatch box and the fancy box from Sweet Bella XOXO and some florals, pulled in some deco pieces from Sadie Stickers. I marked that Shane and I came home and we ended up just like chilling and watching TV. Who knows what we were watching? Again, it was probably like either something on YouTube or something on Netflix. Who knows? We go through phases of the shows that we watch. We've been getting into watching the Harry Potter movies lately, and that has made my heart so happy. So who knows what we were watching. But anyways, I marked that I made some chicken and rice on this night, pulled in another one of the colorful midi boxes from Sadie Stickers, layered it with some floral from Florina Paperie. The icon is from White Deer Stationery. And then to cap off the night, I just read and relaxed. And I marked that with some florals from Florina Paperie, and the icon is from Crafts by Towie. Okay, that is everything. These are the leftovers that I have from this kit, along with the Viv Wiggle. I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jen. I do planner things. I hope everybody is, doing well, staying safe, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.